Welcome. This is RiaTalk for real people, where we're always keeping it real about real life. And here's your host, Maria.
Welcome to Real Talk for real people. Let's talk.
Okay, what are we getting into today? What is the topic?
Well, I hope you remember when I talked about I would like to talk to women, and this is for women. If anybody else get anything out of it, good for you, but I'm talking to females about abuse. If I could title this conversation today, it would be titled, "You Don't Want This Smoke."
Okay.
Now, if you don't know what the smoke is, it's the negative. Men and women fight other women over men. Oh, that's my man. What are you doing with my man? What are you doing looking at my man? What are you doing on he has your phone number. They always blame the other woman. But let me tell you, they say if he cheats on his wife for you, he would cheat on you for somebody else. If he beats his girlfriend, he will beat his new friend. If he beats his wife, he will beat you. So when I say you don't want this smoke, I'm telling you, you don't want an abuser. If he's cursing out his current girl in front of you, girl, you don't want that smoke because you're going to get some of that same thing. Some of that smoke he's giving her, he's going to give it to you. You do not want that smoke.
He's going to give you that same energy.
He's going to give you that same energy. He's going to give you that same smoke. And you don't want that smoke. You deserve to be loved. You are beautiful. You are kind. You're intelligent. You're intuitive. Girl, you don't want that smoke. You are worthy. You deserve better. You don't want this man. Some other woman, he's beating her because they're getting a fight over you. If a man would disrespect another woman, be ugly to another woman, almost beat up on another woman for whatever reason, any man that would beat a woman would beat you, whether you be his wife or his girlfriend. If a man that would beat a female would beat his wife, he would beat his children. He will beat you. You don't want that smoke.
I feel like you're saying, I don't know who this message is for today.
Right, say it again. I don't know who this message is for, but I tell you, statistics say 1 in 3 women have experienced in their relationship domestic violence. You don't want that smoke. Mm-hmm. You're fighting over man over another man. And he's abusive. You see him cursing her out, calling her B. You fall in love with all these rappers calling her B. If a man's not taking care of his baby mama's children, his children by his baby mama, he's not going to take care of yours either. Even if he gets another child, you just become another baby mama. You don't want that smoke.
I also think that people don't understand that with abuse comes with other things too. If you do have kids and he's abusing you, your kids feel that too.
That is true. Not that they feel it. He would probably beat up on them too. Because he had either a mental health disorder or he had some underlying issues that has not been resolved. Maybe from his childhood or something he's going through. I don't care whether you stress, you angry. Oh, she made me do it. She disrespected me. I want some respect. It takes respect to get respect. You got to give respect. You cannot make someone respect you from fear, intimidation, snatching her up, choking her by her neck, pushing her, pinching her, kicking her out of your car, pulling her out of your car and leaving her on the side of the road. Girl, you don't want that smoke.
It's just like on The Color Purple when she's like, I came here for respect, but if there's none to get, then there's sure none to give.
Right. Now, who said that?
I don't remember her name, but she's married to Harpo.
But she's married to Harpo. That's not Suge. That's somebody help me. If you know who we're talking about, I can't think of her name. And she's my favorite character. Oprah played that character in the original Color Purple. But my favorite girl, I call it in the color orange, and what's her name? You don't remember her name either.
Orange is the New Black.
Orange is the New Black, and she did a great job. They all did it. A very good job in their particular characters. But Color Purple is a very good example of domestic violence. Mm-hmm. If you don't know what it is, go and watch the original movie and then watch the new movie, The Color Purple. And you'll see what kind of smoke you don't want. Now, I want to talk additionally, abusive relationships, it's distressing. And it does not affect the mom or the husband or the boyfriend or the baby daddy. It affects the children. I worked in the children's court here at one point, mm-hmm. here in California, mm-hmm. Los Angeles County. And the people that was in the children's court were people that had gotten in fights. It was some form of domestic violence that was perpetrated in front of the children. Generally speaking, and this is generalization, if a man would beat his wife and injure his wife, he would beat and injure his children. Now, I know you can say, oh, women commit domestic violence too. Yes, they do, but not as much as you. And I'm not talking about women committing domestic violence because, like I said, there's a power dynamic. Mm-hmm. And we're talking about physical abuse at this time because we already know if there's physical violence, what came before the physical violence and physical abuse? Emotional abuse, verbal abuse. If your man keeps calling you the B word, he don't love you, girl. He's not into you. He may be into control. That's part of the domestic violence. He seeks to isolate you. He seeks to make you feel breathless. Mm-hmm. And he may be jealous of you, but not in a loving way or godly way. He's jealous because he can't be you. He see how other people like you, other people admire you. He see you on your grind, and he's not doing anything but waiting for you to give him a dime. You on your grind, he try to take your dime, and he gets jealous, and he doesn't like it, even though he still would take your dime because you on your grind. Girl, you don't want that smoke. Now, this happens to all demographics. Mm-hmm. It regardless, some people say regardless of gender. It happens to men too, but again, I'm not talking about men because generally speaking, it's a power dynamic. When a boy grows up, I taught my adopted sons. I said to them, never beat a girl. She slaps you, run away from her. She may think that you're scared of her. No, you're not scared of her. You're scared of yourself. No self-respecting man would beat a woman. You running because you don't want to hurt her. If she's beating you, you can hold her tight and just hold her until the police come. Or just find a way to run again and never be around her again. I'm going to tell you a story. My adopted son came to visit me because he lives in another state. And he told me it was his fiance. He brought his fiance. And she slept in one bedroom and he slept in another bedroom. Because I don't have that. You can't sleep together in my house unless you're married. Mm-hmm. If you don't agree with me, you don't live in my house. You're not paying my bills. You don't get to make my choices. But anywho, I woke up in the middle of the night because I heard noises. He and his fiance were fighting. Mm. They were verbally fighting and physically fighting. She was beating him because I taught him not to beat up on girls. He was trying to hold her, but she was slapping him, hitting him. And he loves his jewelry. He had some gold chains on, and she snatched it and broke it. And that's when he almost hit her. I said, boy, no. What's your last name? You know your last name. We don't do that. You can get a new gold chain. In fact, I get that repaired tomorrow, buy you one. But we don't hit females. It's a power dynamic, strength dynamic. We don't do that. Any self-respecting man. So I told her, I said, listen, young lady, she began to cry. Oh, he's talking to another girl, and I came here, and blah, blah, blah. I said, listen, I'm going to tell you something right now in front of my son. Leave him. When you get back home, don't you ever speak to him, block his number. He is not the one. Move on. Because if he truly loved you, he wouldn't be behaving like this. And if he brings you to a point that you get out of character where you want to hit him, no, he's not the one. Girl, you don't want that smoke. Mm. So, and I've had other situations. When I lived in St. Paul, Minnesota, I worked in a domestic violence center. This was a center where women could come when they're experiencing, they can run to this shelter. It was a place of safety. And I did an intake on a well-to-do woman, a woman that was making, maybe her husband made 7 figures. And she came bare feet, her children in their bedclothes. She said, it makes me cry. This has been 35 years ago. And she said, no, maybe 25. She said, I'm just tired of getting beat up. I don't know what to do. I just think he's going to kill me. I said, yes, it's a strong possibility that he will kill you. 3 days after her arrival, she said, she came and told me, she said, I'm leaving. I'm going back home. I can't live like this. I cannot be poor. There was a money dynamic. She said, I just can't. I'm living in a room with other people, my children are in the room with other people's children. We don't live like this. I think I'd rather live with abuse. And that made me so sad. And this happens to many women, especially women that have husbands, spouses, partners who are making 6 and 7-figure income. They don't leave because they don't want to leave their lifestyle. You will leave it in the grave. You know what you can't do? You can't take it with you. You can't live. You can't take that Jaguar. You can't take that Bentley. You can't take it to the grave. You're just gonna it's going to be left behind for another woman to enjoy. And you can't take it to the grave. When you're wondering, I don't want to leave because a materialistic thing, look at yourself in the grave. He's choking you. Oh, what do you want to say? Oh, he'll choke me all the time. When I was a teenager, I walked up on my sister's boyfriend, beating her. Oh, somebody said, Sally, get your gun. I believe in the Second Amendment. Sally, get your gun. And I was trying to run in the house to get the rifle so I can protect my sister. The law allows that. But somehow I didn't. I wasn't able to do it. I jumped on his back. I started hitting him in the head. And then my sister got mad at me. She told me, she said, stop. Don't hit him. He's doing this because he loves me. She said, and if your boyfriend don't hit you, he doesn't love you. I said, girl, he just doesn't love me. I was not even educated then. I was still in high school. And I knew even then, if a man is beating up on you, he doesn't love you, girl. In all likelihood, he doesn't love himself. Just remember, you don't want that smoke. Some girls say, oh, he's not violent all the time. He's just violent when I make him mad or I do something stupid. Then he hits me. It's my fault. You always gonna feel it's your fault. Girl, you need therapy. You need counseling. You need to build your self-confidence, your self-respect. It's all about you learning to love yourself. As you hear Maria preach this all the time. Loving yourself in human relationships, that's the greatest love of all. Love yourself enough to walk away. You don't want that smoke. I want to name some things so you'll know some physical side. And I'm mainly talking about physical abuse. We know there's emotional abuse for verbal abuse. But I heard a woman quote this. She said, an abusive relationship doesn't just affect the victim, it affects everyone around them. It's a ripple effect of pain and suffering. As a mother, and I am a mother, 2 girls, I would be in prison or I'd be in my grave if my daughters were in a domestic violent relationship. So I say again, for your mama, you don't want that smoke. For your daddy, you don't want that smoke, because people that love you can't. See, when my sister and I jumped on top of her boyfriend, what if he beat me up? He didn't. But he was strong enough to beat me. He was over 6 feet tall. Mm-hmm. He was strong. But I didn't think about it. Automatically, I went to trying to save my sister. He could have killed me. So, if you don't care about yourself, care about your sister, care about your mama, care about your daddy or your brother that will run to your rescue. One last thing in conclusion, I want to give you again. When someone is marking you, he gotta, in order for him to control you and take it, when he slaps you, when he pinch you, or he chokes you, he mocks you, he belittles you. And he say things like, oh, you retarded, you stupid, you crazy bee. He taunts something you did. See, I told you you were stupid. You did that. You can't even make these grits right. You can't even cook grits right. Girl, you don't want that smoke. Abusive relationships are a great violation to our human dignity and must be addressed with urgency and get some sense. Like my old Southern grandmama say, get some sense. If you ain't got none, you can get some. Come and listen to my podcast. Go and get help. I'm going to tell you the National Abuse Hotline. If you ain't got no sense, girl, they're going to help you get some sense. 1-800-799-7233. Again, the National Abuse Hotline is 1-800-799-7233. You do not want that smoke.
Okay, that's it for RiaTalk. Please leave your comments and your compliments below or on our Instagram account at RiaTalk. We're growing, guys. You can find this podcast on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get podcasts. Also, remember to like, follow, and subscribe to RiaTalk, and we will see you next week.